Hello, everyone. We are back with our third episode of Four Guys in Pie. Today, we have myself, our guest, Mr. Wesley, our regulars, Paige, Fonzie, and John, and our new member, Max. So today, we're going to be playing a really interesting game. So the whole premise is we have two teams, Paige and Fonzie, and then Max and John. And so they're going to fight on random, really random debates. And so they get 30 seconds to prepare, and then each team gets 1 minute to kind of spit their argument. And so at the end, we're gonna decide which team had the most fire arguments, but which team also was the best at being a unit. So with that being said, would you like to pick out the first topic
I'd
of
love
discussion?
to. Not looking. Okay, I bet you I'm gonna need glasses to read this. Could hand it to you, but I'm gonna test my reading skills. So the question is, what is the best genre?
Of music.
Of music. It just said, what is the best genre of music? And they get a couple minutes to think about it?
They get 30 seconds. So
Okay.
talk
30
to your person
Okay.
starting now. So how's your week going?
Today's been amazing because it's already Tuesday, and like Friday
All
basically
school?
barely counts as a day. So 3-day week. That's exciting.
literally
how
a 3-day
about
week.
for you? How's your day going?
It's been exciting. This has basically been my whole day, just preparing for this, making sure everything's fine.
This doesn't just happen, right? Like
Yeah.
this magic takes some preparation.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Stop!
You have to scream.
I thought it would be more fun.
No, it's
anyway, so are we gonna have to argue about who goes first or who wants to
both
go?
probably say our
That's the
genres,
first
just to make
argument.
sure we don't have the same thing.
All right, well, our pick is rock and roll.
All right, we're good. We chose hip hop. So.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, actually, we'll go back and forth. You guys first.
Okay, so it's 30 seconds, right, to start?
It's a minute.
You get a minute.
Okay, so rock and roll is the best music genre of all time because of the impact it has had on other music genres. You look at bands like Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Who, and almost everything that came after them is based off of what they did. It's a genre that's been around for more than 50 years. It has roots in blues and other genres. It is overall, as far as iconic music goes, the #1 genre of all time.
Okay. Max, anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm not a big rock and roll guy, but I hear a lot of it because it's what my parents like. So yeah, I think it's pretty good.
I have a question. Is Elvis considered rock and roll?
Elvis is he's really early pop. I wouldn't consider, personally, I
think
wouldn't
he's
consider him rock
considered
and roll.
rock and roll.
I wouldn't personally, not the way I guess you could call him incredibly early rock and roll, but
'Cause if we're
I
going-
personally wouldn't.
All right,
I would
team two,
say-
your time starts.
Okay, my rebuttal to rock and roll. Elvis stole a lot of music from black artists back in the day, so he was very unoriginal to start your argument of rock and roll. We chose hip hop because it's been such a long standing genre that's meant so much for black people especially. And then with hip hop you got pump up music, you're working out to hip hop, you can do a lot, it's motivating with hip hop.
Yeah, it's built this character and age with its ever-growing community, and as a genre, it's really grown and flourished between in the 21st century and late 20th century, and it's just been proven to be the most appealing genre nowadays. So it's really aged well.
Can I say more or no?
You just ran out of time.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fine.
All right.
Am I allowed to go?
Oh, are we
Rebuttal back.
rebuttal?
Yeah,
Alright.
so what you said about Elvis is really right, and I think you made a really good point. And I think part of that, though, is that you look at the iconic, the core rock and roll bands, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, the Rolling Stones, they didn't take inspiration from Elvis. You know what I mean? Elvis was sort of his own thing, and I think that he can be considered one of the earliest rock and roll performers, but he didn't have much impact on the genre as a whole, I think. And I think Fonzie made a good point when he said that hip hop really flourished in the 21st century, but I think that rock and roll has been flourishing since the late 60s.
But no one really listens to rock and roll as much anymore. Like if you're talking
No,
about
that's-
genre, like
that's
it doesn't
true.
have nearly as much impact. Like
Well,
hip
no,
hop
no, but I
definitely
mean,
does.
from a pure music perspective, if you look at what Led Zeppelin did with blues scales, that's like standard now. You know what I mean? If you look at the sound and if you actually look at it from a music point of view, what they did impacts music today of all genres.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at it nowadays, the rock and roll genre, it's been very declining. I mean, if you take like
Well, declining in popularity, not in quality.
in popularity and in like musical genre in general, like take Imagine Dragons, they're considering themselves as a rock and roll, and
The
they-
system considers them rock and roll.
the system.
So
They're
then you
pop.
have, with rock and roll, you have a blur of who's who. With hip
How do
hop,
you
there's
mean?
not really a blur. Like there's a fine line that hip hop artists walk on that makes you hip hop. Like rock and roll, there's no specifics that a person needs to like seem to have.
No, that's true, and I think that it shouldn't be a mark against rock and roll that some bands are considered rock. I think when you have a studio or a label wants to consider a band rock, it's just so they can reach a bigger audience. I think it's a word. I don't think it actually really means anything when a band like Imagine Dragons is considered rock.
Yeah, and like there's, just from my experience, like there's a ton of different kinds of rock. You know, you have alternative rock, soft rock, punk rock. Like there are a lot of different kinds that have broken off from, you know, the Led Zeppelin, Beatles types that kind of
Right.
pioneered it. So just it's evolved, maybe not more than hip hop, but like in a different way.
I don't mean to cut you guys off, so we're going to move on to our next topic.
Wait, who do we know? When do we know who won?
So basically, it's a holistic review at the end on the criteria that we've put in the document. And we're going to judge you on based off of just who we think overall had the most consistently solid arguments and which team had the most unity, and also how creative those arguments are. But we also will like make notes of, ooh, they did really good on this argument.
You're both off to a good start.
Yeah.
I was impressed
So yeah.
by both sides' arguments.
So wait, do you want to pick the next one, or should I pick the next one?
Well, let's let you pick the next one.
Okay. I'm not looking at it. I'm not looking
I'm
at
gonna
it.
see you're gonna force.
Oh, this is early. This is an early one. Okay. Who is the GOAT?
Oh.
LeBron James, LeBron James, or Michael Jordan?
So wait.
And wait, Pokey.
Well,
Wait, alrighty. So your 30 seconds starts now.
You said it.
Do you think it's a rock?
Why?
No, because I can honestly argue against that.
Even if he didn't have the longevity in his career, he had so many attributes.
Okay, I can.
Does goat mean like?
Personally,
No, but then
I'll let you take it.
Okay,
still
but
have Jordan Brand, all his
I'm sorry.
businesses. He's
No,
a
no, you're fine.
billionaire.
I'll
Like,
just, like,
yeah, I guess you can.
I can let
okay, you can talk about sports and stuff.
Okay.
African American artist. That didn't come up, so I thought it ended up being pretty even. That was really hard to tell.
Career
Like,
outside.
What-
And he went into baseball. But look, I don't know.
I think it sounds like they're ready.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
So you guys go first. Actually, well, okay, I
Wait.
want MJ, but
First,
Whoa,
wait,
whoa,
wait,
hold on.
wait.
whoa.
Who
Okay.
said you guys had a choice?
What?
First,
Oh,
you
new
all
rules.
had a
Oh, you're
first
choosing
rules.
for
choice.
them?
So we have to.
It's two
reboot?
options. So rock, paper, scissors.
Would-
Are
Who
you
gets
good at
the-
rock paper scissors? Because I'm
Yeah.
not.
Fonzie
Are
and
you
Max
good
are
at
gonna
rock,
rock,
paper, scissors?
rock,
I'm good at
paper,
I'm
scissors.
assuming you want MJ, right?
yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay,
That's why we're
rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. Oh.
So Max,
close.
who do you want, Max?
We gotta take Michael Jordan.
Alrighty, so since you're LeBron, I'll let you guys go first.
Oh wait, we're LeBron.
Yeah, you guys.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at his career and longevity, he has really shown himself to be a buff and strong guy on the court, and within his career, it's just really aged well.
And I would say the way, I know this doesn't necessarily have to do with LeBron himself, but the fact that he has a son that's going into basketball who's doing very good, I would say it teaches a lot about him and the way he's been able to raise another great basketball player, his skill, his ability to teach, and like all of that included.
Okay. So Michael Jordan is the most iconic basketball player of all time. Everybody knows the logo. He basically started sneakers with the Jordan 1s. He popularized. He didn't start them, but he made them explode with the Jordan 1s. He is especially iconic because he stayed for one team for the large majority of his career. Yes, he was with the Wizards at the end of his career. But LeBron doesn't necessarily have roots in one place. He was with the Cavs when he was drafted and for I think what was like 6 years. Yes, but as soon as he became a free agent, he went ring chasing. LeBron even started ring chasing, really, if you think about it. I mean, that wasn't much of a thing until LeBron did it and went to South Beach. Michael Jordan is a Chicago icon. Yes, LeBron is statistically better than MJ in some categories, but as an icon, Michael Jordan, I think, is unquestionably bigger to basketball.
I see. I mean, well, I'd like to point out like your argument about how he would change teams, how LeBron would change teams. You know, Jordan retired a lot, and he went to baseball. You know, and I just feel like they have the same amount of switching up on each side. And it's not just that he stuck with basketball. It's that he was able to make a team who really sucked, like the Cavs, you know, who really sucked, and he made them flourish in the period that he served.
Yeah, but when Michael Jordan went to go play baseball, he didn't play against his former basketball teammates. LeBron did, right? He went to go play against the Cavs. You know, Jordan went to go play baseball because he wanted to have that career, yes, and you could argue that it was a quote-unquote betrayal to the Bulls, but he wasn't playing against the Bulls. He was playing for Jerry Reinsdorf with the White Sox, who also owns the Bulls.
Well, yeah, but it's not about betraying other teams. It's about who's the greatest of all time, and that is LeBron James.
There's another. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it, Max.
No, just another angle that I like looking at it personally. And maybe it's because I was born when I was, but and I don't watch a lot of basketball either. But for me, like, I don't know a thing about the NBA before like the late '80s, early '90s, and then like I can kind of pick up some history from that point on. I feel like Jordan, just from my perspective, like kind of helped grow the sport. Maybe in a way that LeBron hasn't been able to because it's already at the level that it's at. But I know just for me personally, like when I think of like basketball, in part, I still think of Michael Jordan because of all the contributions he made during his time. And again, maybe it's just different because LeBron James is still in the league. He's still crafting his legacy, but that's just how I see it.
Alrighty. We're going to move on to our next topic. Thank you both. Alrighty. I'm not going to pick. You're going to pick?
Spectacles. I call these my granny glasses. They kind of look like
They're
grandma. Okay. Is feminism as inclusive as it should be?
Do you want to tell us which side we're on before we start this?
Or can we choose our side?
Because I want to say yes.
And so you want to say it is inclusive?
Yes.
And you want to say?
I am not
They wanna
educated
say
enough on
no.
this topic.
I mean, I guess we could, just for the sake of a
Look,
good
I didn't know
argument.
anything about
I'll play
basketball.
devil's
You guys
advocate
can
wherever you
argue
want me to, I don't care,
feminism.
but-
Okay,
All
we'll
right,
take
then we'll
the,
give you the side that you want, since you're the only one with an opinion. Feminism is inclusive, is your goal.
Is inclusive. We still get 30 seconds though, right?
Yeah, y'all need it. Alrighty, and the time starts now.
Okay, I'm gonna say, yeah, okay, so Dan hacked away, couldn't, like,
We're in a
blow
rock and a
in
hard
some
spot
oranges.
next.
And,
Do you think we'll figure it out?
I
No.
really was
I'm sorry, you guys have been great in the first two.
I don't.
minority.
How can we argue that it?
You almost
Well, wait.
had
Can
me.
we rock paper scissors for yes?
No,
No, the time already started.
I'm already crafting my argument. No.
I'll give you guys an extra 10 seconds because you look like you're struggling, or not at all. You don't even care.
It's good.
You're not even thinking about it.
Happening now, how like they're
Like,
arguing
of
about
course
how
I'm not
there's
gonna do you
enough women
favors.
directors.
Think.
I've already accepted
Talk.
I'm gonna lose. So I'm just. Get the endorphins running.
Look
in
at
my
I
that.
guess what is
Okay,
inclusive?
time's
Like,
up.
oh.
I want wait.
Look at
wait,
this,
you have
like,
no
Go in.
Wait, okay.
throwing in the
so
towel.
Back up.
I know they are.
So,
Literally
Oh,
me
already.
with
That's
Ryan because I was
fine.
like,
That's
I don't
fine.
know
I'm trying to
anything.
As to
What does that
what
mean?
exactly is meant.
They've
Yeah,
all, we've all,
Can you elaborate on inclusive? Like,
but I feel like if I do elaborate, then I'll be giving you all what I, like my argument and like fueling it. And so, okay, fine. So some people may think that there's like different waves to feminism, or there's different movements that have been more geared towards a specific group of people. So the feminism might be more labeled towards like cisgendered, just like white women. And so it leaves out sometimes transgender people, women of color, sex workers, and people who don't fit into umbrella, like typical standards. And so some people do argue that like these other minority groups of all different kinds are not really being represented, or that sometimes, while people say they're feminists, they don't actually support those other groups at the same time. So that's how some people might argue that it's not inclusive, but some people could say that they're doing just fine and that the movement is progressing in a way that it should be.
okay.
Okay.
So, with that being said,
They start because we started first.
Wait. Okay.
Oh.
Do they need more time now that they know what the
Can we let
question
them? Can we
is?
let them start?
no,
No,
I
I had to start
No,
with LeBron.
you're
You're
done.
going.
You did a good job of explaining that, though.
All right.
Thank
all right.
you.
Very well.
All right.
I
So
can go.
hey,
I can
now,
start.
All right, go for it,
I'll
Max.
take-
okay.
I'll
By
take
the
it.
way,
Oh,
sorry, I
no,
did
you
the-
said by the way. You got
By the way, we're going to actually stick to the 1 minute
Oh, did
format
good.
now.
Why?
Okay.
Okay.
I don't get a rebuttal. That's boring.
But then I'll give you guys 2 minutes at the end for both of you guys to chit chat back and forth. But you have to give your points first.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Because with the last one, y'all. Anyway, go.
Okay. Oh yeah, Max.
Okay, so we're arguing that it's not as inclusive, right? So as a male, okay, clearly I'm a male. I support like obviously free rights and treatment of both genders, and so I guess it is a little frustrating when you see people, and they're like, it's not the majority for sure, but like there are people out there who like, it's more than just like equality. And I guess as a male who like supports equality, it can be frustrating when the people you're trying to like agree with and ally yourself with go against that idea. I guess.
Alrighty. Your side?
Oh, so I'm saying inclusive, and I think one way to prove this is with Anne Hathaway and like Ellen Pompeo, the lady from Grey's Anatomy. Recently, they've done a lot of sticking up for Black women and other minorities within, and like sticking up and for their community. And I think that's just a way of showing like inclusive feminism. And then with the Oscars that's happening like right now, how the nominations aren't that diverse. A lot of people have been pointing out that the directors, there's no female directors like not elected. What do you call it? Nominated.
Yeah.
Nominated. So, and how there's not a diverse like nominations across the board, and I think that's another version of like inclusive feminism. Obviously, feminists are pointing this out because they feel like it's a woman issue and women are a part of this, and they want to see the inclusiveness. So I think that's a big like take on the community and how they're growing.
Great, perfect timing. Y'all can chit chat.
Okay, so just because it happens in one example doesn't mean that it's happening across the board. For what it's worth, I think you make a good point, but I think you overgeneralize when you look at just Hollywood and say, it's just inclusive in Hollywood, where it may not be inclusive in other spaces. I think there was a women's rights rally this past weekend in Chicago, and you look at that and it's like, how many transgender rights rallies are there compared to women's rights rallies? How many cisgender or pangender rights rallies are there to feminist rights rallies? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I think and I feel like trans women should be included within the Women's March.
Right.
But I think, I don't know how to word this. Women's March is for women, all different variety of women. I don't think it's to acknowledge their issues. So it's not like saying everyone, because it specifically says like women. and everyone included within women and who want to support. And I think the Women's March is actually a good example because you've had so many women rallying behind common different issues within like climate change, Trump, a bunch of different other stuff. We're rallying behind each other because we all want something to be fixed.
Every protest is to show, a protest against something, and I just feel like, though what you bring up is a different thing from feminism. It's a different march. It's a different movement. It's a different problem, and it's just different. There's different borders. There's different. It's separate. It's a different problem, you know.
Alrighty, well, I'll take that pause.
I also would like to say I don't speak for all women. All women may not agree with me, so don't just take my perspective as the answer to for all women, because it's not.
Definitely
Paige has
not.
been very clear on this.
Because I don't want to represent all women, then some people come bashing me.
She said what she said.
Right.
I'm not all women. Alrighty, hopefully the next topic we
I'm
pull
impressed.
is a
I'm
little less.
Steve,
Guys,
how can
was
you
heavy.
argue that feminism isn't inclusive when the entire point of feminism is like, or that progressive movement is inclusivity?
Well,
Okay,
it's
can I go on the
progressive,
opposite?
but it's-
Can I go on
No,
the
no,
opposite
just-
now?
Do you want to
Or
put devil's
moving
advocate? 'Cause I'm curious.
Wait, are we still?
Well,
oh, okay.
a lot.
I think we're still on.
I think it's supposed
I'm
to-
okay.
supposed to-
Scratch my
I
whole
like the
argument. This
passion.
doesn't count
This
anymore,
is
though.
good.
I'm just like answering your question. In the beginning, I felt like it was a lot of like black women, especially, didn't feel represented enough in feminism, and they felt that only white women were speaking up for white women. And like again, I'll use Trump. Like a lot of white women voted for Trump. So how are you going to say you're fighting for all women, but you don't care about
Right.
black women and all these other people that Trump would obviously not obviously, has not proven that he cares about, is what I would say.
Since this doesn't count, can I like say one thing?
Yes.
Like the
moderator
whole
is
point is
jumping
like
in.
I don't talk, but now I am. How people can say that it's not inclusive is not exactly like the movement itself, but like the people that represent the movement aren't necessarily being inclusive. So for example, even like, let's pick an easy one with sex work. Like how can you say you're for all women, but then if someone's a sex worker, then you
bash them.
disrespect them or like treat them as if they're not worthy of like being loved, or they're like not worthy of having their safety be a concern for everyone. And so it's not like the whole movement is not representative of like, or the, like is not representative of everybody. It's just like the people who champion the movement the most may not represent or may not take into account the feelings and the existences of all people. So that's what, but since this doesn't matter,
So that was your like,
that's my one time that I'm going to talk, and then I will leave you all alone. So,
Very articulate points. I'm impressed by all of you. I'm serious. Sorry.
Hopefully we
that's
get
how
something,
I
like,
feel.
silly
It's
now.
Sincere.
Yeah.
like,
Hopefully we get a fun one.
okay, I'm just
So-
gonna look in it because I
Well,
don't want to.
We're gonna pick.
I'm not
I know which
gonna.
one she's gonna pick.
How
What
would
am I
you
gonna
solve
pick?
global
gonna be
warming?
serious.
Well, you're the host.
What am I gonna
you can
pick?
pick a
It's
fun
the shortest
one.
one.
If you
I
want
know what it is.
You already know what it is.
I know what it is.
Oh, God.
You're laughing. Is this about Star Wars?
I don't.
You're
Okay,
throwing it at me.
Is it dog
Ooh, this one's
Cats?
heavy.
this is heavy.
Where's Waldo?
Oh no.
Where's Waldo?
You guys get through. There's no sides to this. It's just you guys figure it out. Ready, set,
Where do you
go.
What do you want to argue? Just start.
Me and Max already know.
I already
Be
know.
like, why do you care?
They
I
didn't
guess
even
this-
Living his
speak,
best
I don't
life
think.
with
They have. I guess.
It might have been
And
telepathic.
Elvis.
No, I was just to say they have major team telepathy going on here.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
some
we were
pie.
doodling
I
on
have
the
no
paper,
telepathy,
so.
but
They have
No, you were
some
doing it.
solid team
was
building
confused.
skills going on.
Who?
Where is Waldo?
It's funny that I wrote that I do this right before the publication.
No problem.
Yeah,
What's your
it's right
fuck
here.
Elvis? Wait, who was it? Mark Elvis
Books.
and somebody else.
I guess the whole point is for them to be their problem. Hey, time's up. You told me to not yell this time. Alrighty.
No, we had to start first, right?
Does anyone have a preference on who wants to start?
I wouldn't mind going first.
Oh, okay.
You want? Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Okay.
Ready?
So after some extensive debate, my partner John
Some
here and
zero.
I have come to the determination that Waldo, he kind of goes wherever the vibe goes. If you know what I mean. So if it's over there, it's over there. It's outside, he's outside. So
South side? Did
Did
you
you
say
say
South
No, it's
side?
outside.
I
It's
said
outside.
But
I
if
like
the-
South side.
If
the
it's at the
vibe's
south
in the
side,
south
then
side, that's where he's going. So,
So he's a clout chaser. That's what I'm
sure.
hearing.
No.
Sure.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey, his
No.
minute.
No, sure. I
No.
mean, oh no, okay.
If cloud chasing's not the vibe, he's not there, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Sure.
So,
Are we done?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For now.
Now the minute's done. Alrighty. Y'all?
Okay, wait, we're not rebuttaling yet. We're just saying our
Not
point.
yet. Your point.
Okay, so our point is, why do we care where's Waldo? He's living his best life, probably on some island with like Tupac and Elvis. You know how they're
Cuba?
like, yeah, Cuba. They're living their best life.
so
So
you're
why?
supposing
what-
where he is.
Their time. They have a minute.
It doesn't matter where he is. He's living his best life without us being worried about him. He's fine. We don't have to worry about him.
He is aging. He is sprouting into a new seed, and
Right.
he is Waldo.
Yes, with his striped shirt.
Yeah,
Yes,
in his hat.
his red beanie.
So you could say
He's probably out. He's probably
yeah,
out. No,
shaking
he's
their
not vibing because no one dresses like Waldo. He's not trying to be anybody else.
He's his
He's
own vibe.
himself.
He's living his best life.
Right.
living his own vibe.
Not a
Not
vibe.
vibe.
No.
It's a
No vibe.
It's a
Because a vibe is influenced by other. A vibe is influenced by other people.
They didn't
Waldo
get their minute,
is living
but
with his.
it's okay.
No. Waldo has his red striped shirt and his red beanie, and he's happy. He's not influenced by Kylie Jenner and what she's wearing.
He doesn't
So
have
no
social
vibe.
media.
Right.
He doesn't have peer
I didn't say
pressure.
a vibe
Hey
was
y'all,
influenced
this
by other
one's
people.
done.
I thought we were having a really constructive.
Okay, I feel like y'all. Okay, I'm gonna
That
be
was
honest.
entertaining.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys are both just saying the same thing with different terms. Like
Yeah,
whether it's
that's what I was
vibe,
trying to
he's
argue.
vibing, he's living his best life. It's
Yeah.
literally.
So you agree with us, basically?
No, we don't. We don't. You agree with us.
Those are two different things.
it's not who's agreeing with who. It's
We
just
didn't
like a
ask
matter
you.
of who went first.
We didn't
If it
ask
was,
you.
though, it'd be them agreeing with us.
No, we're not agreeing with you.
We don't want to agree with you.
Okey-dokey.
Don't choose that one.
Long.
You guys, they did at least answer where is Waldo. You
Yeah.
changed the whole
You
question.
just said don't ask
Which-
for Waldo.
I told you where Waldo is. He's living his best life.
That's not a location. Hey,
It is.
That's a mental.
Wherever he likes
Your
his
mom
best
Can he
life.
be vibing
your
when
mom
he's living his
texts
best
you.
life?
Where you at?
Living
In my best life.
Then that means
Yeah,
to not
like-
answer, to be not concerned
I'm
about
going
what
to
she
tell
is.
my mom that next time I see her. All right, my turn. Granny glasses.
Why don't you just keep them on?
I could do this. That's what I do. And I get like little marks, you know,
Yeah.
on my nose all day. All right. Oh, wow. This is deep, too.
John would know.
Lord Jesus.
Milk, rice milk, almond milk, or no milk.
I thought we got rid of it.
Oh, there's
Are we
another
getting rid of
milk.
that? Is this,
No, there
is
is
this a
no.
rejected
There's a
one?
list of more milk.
What?
No, there's a full list of milks. So it's
nasty.
oh here.
Has this one been superseded?
Almond milk, oat milk, skim milk, lactose
Wait,
free.
we have an update.
Oh,
Best milk type: almond milk, oat milk, skim milk, lactose-free milk, soy.
Or regular milk.
okay.
Or no
Rice.
milk.
Or no milk.
Or regular milk, almond
So
milk,
y'all can
rice
just-
milk.
Wait,
or
wait,
no
wait.
milk.
Are we? We're arguing no milk. We're arguing no milk. What do you guys argue?
No milk? What'd you say? Did you say no milk?
We said no milk. Why do you keep doing this?
Oh, well, we can maybe see if our arguments are the same then.
Well, they're gonna.
Can you type? No, just type
You can't both argue the
Question
same.
is, where
same
is the
size.
milk, and what's it vibing to?
This isn't the where's Waldo.
Does the
This
milk?
is the-
No.
does
So
the
wait.
milk
Do we have to rock
vibe?
paper scissors? Because we
Got
both
both
want to
of
say no milk.
Y'all, could you not have picked like
There's
almond?
like 600 choices
No.
here.
Almond milk?
There's
Yeah,
literally
terrible.
six.
We
Exactly.
can't
There's
give
like
our arguments
seven-
on why we won't pick
There's
it yet.
7 choices, and y'all had to choose the same one.
Okay.
They were literally
No,
like.
rock, paper, scissors, because they automatically got to say yes.
Okay,
They
John
better
and
rock,
Paige.
paper, scissors.
Oh no, I'm not rock paper.
No, go.
No, Alfonso Max won. Max won last time. I have faith.
Yeah.
Thumb war or something.
Oh,
Oh.
Yay!
It's okay, Max.
I
It's
quit.
okay.
Bro.
1-1, don't worry.
I just probably should whip out my.
Wait, do
We
we
bet
get 30
500
seconds
days.
still or no?
Thank you.
Actually, no. None of y'all get 30 seconds. You suck.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
Who went
Oh.
first last time?
wait, who got no milk?
Taskmaster.
Us.
They got no milk.
They got
so,
no
Max,
milk?
what do you think?
Wait, you can't. No, you can't argue.
What? No,
Wait, fine. I'll give
we
you
don't have an
15
argument.
seconds. 15
All right, you're right.
seconds.
What are we arguing?
We had to figure out some way with LeBron on the spot, but you know, whatever.
Okay. Just
Relies
normal?
on
Okay, I can do
to
that.
be good.
I don't know the difference.
What else were we gonna say?
I think 1% is thinner. It's like 1% like fat.
It relies on
Whole milk's just like
Whole milk's all fat.
To be good, to be
1% only
drinkable,
has
it
Okay, are you
does.
guys ready?
Of fat.
it relies on fat.
You ready?
No, it needs.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll,
it needs.
since you guys lost, I'll give you the choice to go first.
Is that better?
Okay,
Lie.
we'll go first.
Okay, go first.
All right, so the milk we've chosen now that you guys took ours is 2% milk.
Actually, I can't take
It's the milk I have every morning with my cornflakes, and I think it's pretty good. But yeah, John, you have anything to add?
It's one of the most essential foods you can have. It has, I think, almost all of the essential amino acids. It has good fat. It has protein. It is the backbone of a healthy diet.
Science.
It is the backbone of a healthy diet.
Yes.
You done?
Yeah.
Oh, were you done? Okay.
Okay. So milk tastes horrible. It's disgusting. It's trash.
Yep.
You like need it to be mixed in with something else. Like it tastes really bad, disgusting. And also milk needs cereal to like be drinkable. If you are gonna drink it, like you can't just drink regular milk. Like you're just gonna puke. No.
Yeah.
So it needs cereal, and the fact that it needs something else to be good is horrible.
Yeah, you can't just drink it straight, especially from the cow's udder.
Who does that?
Exactly.
one does
People do that. Remember Skywalker in the
Okay. Yeah, Luke Skywalker in a movie on
Okay,
an
I'm
alien
done.
planet.
it came from an udder.
How do you know that's milk though? It's green. It was
So
like
y'all
green
here, out here
liquid.
drinking from
It's not
animals,
milk.
nasty.
Nasty.
It's not milk.
Disgusting.
Salmonella.
Almost everything we consume, well, a lot of things we consume comes from animals, for what it's worth.
But we're not just
and then,
drinking
like,
animals.
Or
Like-
dirt. Think about
Dirt.
that. That's
You know what
disgusting.
sucks? Dry cereal sucks.
Yeah, true.
No, because
That's
milk
true.
is
Dry-
bad.
No,
no,
dry
that's
cereal
so
sucks.
true.
well, you don't just have to
Dry
eat
cereal.
cereal.
Just pour water.
Why would you not want to eat cereal?
Because it's boring when you have waffles and like pancakes
You can-
and
Honey-
sausages
Honey Nut
and
Cheerios.
skillets
Honey Nut
and like
Cheerios.
all this
Put
other great
sausage in your
stuff.
cereal, like.
What?
Okay, no, we're done.
I
okay?
disown that.
We're not done.
You're like, I don't know about
To be fair,
that.
I've never done that. It just
But-
popped into my mind.
Anyway,
It sounded like it might be good.
Okay,
Anyways, milk is trash. End of story.
Milk is not
next
trash.
one because what was that?
What was what?
What was that?
What's our next topic?
next
Well,
question.
then Max was talking about sausage.
question.
Or bacon.
I was following until sausage.
But like you can put like milk in like baking and like so many
Who?
like other
What?
foods.
Okay,
Oh,
any-
this is bacon.
any-
I'm like,
anywho.
Baking.
Oh, and baking. I think it said bacon.
I thought you said
Yeah.
bacon
What is
too.
with
I was-
y'all?
If you have
And-
no milk, there's so
I was
many other
confused.
foods
I
you
was
can't
like, are you
make.
just trying to be ridiculous? Ridiculous. All right. Cats versus
Dogs.
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 Rock, paper, scissors. Because I know he likes dogs. I know y'all like dogs. I know
I could
you
argue.
like
dogs.
dogs.
I could argue cats.
You could, okay, I could, but I want dogs.
You want to rock paper scissors again?
Dogs.
Wait. Do you
Dogs,
have
dogs.
do you have enough
I
reasons
have
to
both.
make?
Both.
No, that's not what I was gonna ask. Do you have enough reason to argue a cat?
I don't
Yeah.
feel like they like the process.
All
of
right, we'll
how
just
this
go
works.
with a cat.
like the rules.
Pandemonium.
Okay, what are you guys arguing?
Cats.
You guys arguing?
Wait, we still need our 30 seconds though.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
What are you saying? 'Cause I'm so-
Okay.
Especially they're chill.
Did I say the 30 minutes start?
Like then
Chill.
fucking
You don't need to walk.
All right. Okay, the 30 seconds started.
Mike might have picked that up.
What?
Dogs are geeky.
Something's
They'll give you
attack
random
you.
stuff.
They'll give
Like
you
I have a
treats.
cat.
No.
Every time I run
What?
upstairs, she bites my leg.
Give you stuff
I have,
like rats.
marks in my legs.
What?
Oh. Yeah, cats are just.
Oh, they keep your house clean
dude,
from rats.
you
and shit.
stuff like
And then
that.
cats like,
No, not give you
I
stuff.
don't like.
Okay. Okay, stop.
cats are not your friend.
No.
Okay.
What? Don't lie like that.
They're not.
Okay. Save it.
I know.
Okay. Cats. I like cats more, so you have to start.
That doesn't
You're
Go.
the cat.
Okay, well, cats, they're an essential household pet.
I'm gonna say item.
Not an item, they are a living being,
They do so.
they are a pet.
Yes.
They are independent, they are chill. You can just vibe with them. You
Back to
can
vibing.
just like lay with them. My cat, for example, he just lays in my bed, and whenever I want to pet him, he lets me.
Dogs require too much
It-
attention. You gotta walk them and like make sure they're all good. Cats are independent. They can take care of themselves. They got the litter box. They'll just do their business. You just gotta feed them and they'll chill with you. You don't have to do anything really in return, but just do the basics. Dogs require way too much.
But Paige does not
If
speak
you-
for all women on the issues
You're
of
right.
cats. Just to clarify.
There's
Are y'all?
nothing. There's are few better feelings than coming home and being swarmed by dogs. I have 4 dogs,
Oh my god.
so there's nothing better than coming home and just being like swarmed by dogs and it's so loving, and they lick you, and it's just so wholesome. And when I come home, my cat looks at me and turns around and goes and sits on the couch. And then when I try to sit by my cat, she'll bite me.
Same.
And then when I try to walk up the stairs, she bites my ankles. Whenever you try to play with a cat, it involves usually biting your hand. Whenever you try to play with a dog, it includes something more fun, like fetch or petting them or something like that. You can't really pet a cat because they'll just bite your hand. Anyways, Max?
Yeah, I mean, cats they're just kind of mean. They're not mean, okay? They're just aloof.
They can be.
They can be, but like my cousins had a cat, and it was the most aloof creature I've ever met. Okay, it just like whenever we came over to my cousin's house, it would just kind of like look at you and then walk away, and then I wouldn't see it again for the next couple days. So like, it's just
But
it's just kind of.
can I have my rebuttal?
Yeah.
Okay, but what if you're like sleepy or
yeah.
something and you come home and you don't feel like being bothered and you get swarmed with all your dogs? Like, cat's not gonna do that. It knows that you're tired. It's gonna let you go home and chill. And also, not saying I do this, but like, what if you were sneaking out? Now you got dogs coming in, barking and stuff because you didn't snuck out. So now you can't peacefully sneak out because you got the dogs. I don't do that though.
Not if the dogs are sleeping.
This is on.
What you're gonna? If you have a dog, they would be
if you sneak
aware
out, you come
enough.
home and it's like 2 or 3, the dog's gonna be sleeping.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's gonna wake up.
I'm sorry.
I have 4 dogs.
I do too.
I have a
I have
German
one, not
Shepherd,
four.
and she's always up. My cat always sleeps. And look, to go back to your argument, it completely depends on the environment of the animal. You see, when there's multiple cats, when there's 2 cats at least, they're just vibing and being in their own space.
No.
You have 1 cat
No.
and 4
I have a
dogs
story for
in
you,
a
Fozzie.
household. Do you understand your living environment? Or your cat?
Alfonso, you're wrong though.
Your cat is in stress.
Yes, that's why your cat doesn't like you. It's stressed and needs his own
Here's why
time.
it's not true. I live in 2 houses. My mom has a cat. My dad has 4 dogs. Dang it. So no, they actually don't live together. And we
But
did
they
play-
wait. No, pause.
but-
Your dog, your cat smells the dogs when you come to visit the
She
cat.
hated me before my dad got the dogs. He got the dogs.
So
a few
maybe
months
it's
ago.
you. It could be
She
you.
hates my mom too. And my stepdad. She hates everybody.
This is gotten personal.
I think it's just you. Like the cat doesn't like you.
I'm not the only person in the family she hates.
Oh.
No, but so Fonz talked about multiple cats, right? Well, we tried to get a second cat a couple years back.
Yeah.
My first cat cornered her in the laundry room and wouldn't let her leave all night. So my mom had to stay up with them and stay up with the new cat to make sure she wouldn't get attacked. And then we had to bring the new cat back in the morning because she got bullied so hard by my first cat.
But aren't dogs
Maybe-
the exact
right.
same?
No, I have 4 dogs and they fight, but they get along.
All right, we're done.
Fight.
Fighting is relative. It can.
Ooh,
Alrighty. So
There's love fighting.
give
There's
us.
hate fighting, right?
1,000 times.
We're gonna talk.
it
for
could have been
about
love
30
fighting. Your cat should have
Okay,
could
we're
have
gonna
been
talk
protecting
while
you.
they keep.
Right. That's why I
New
bleed in
cats.
my ankles when she's
No,
up.
no, I'm talking about from the other cat.
You think what's the world?
Okay, argument's
Should-
over.
should-
It doesn't even matter anymore.
Paying attention to that.
I like both of them. Whatever this works.
Since the argument's over, I definitely would say dogs because I love my dog and cats are boring.
Hard. It's really hard.
Cats are, they're kind of chill.
What's that?
I'm gonna say everyone.
You tried to make a point.
Ruined it.
Soiled it.
Yeah, I would not have to give it a tie. That's what's so
Guys,
hard.
like, why y'all?
Seriously.
John, I feel like you complain about the pie every time or like the size of the
I love
pie.
the pie.
Yet you eat it.
I didn't
Every
complain about the
time.
pie all this time.
You did.
I said I like. What did I say?
You didn't. I meant to
Oh, I
say
didn't.
didn't.
Oh.
Jeez, relax.
I thought
I think the first time I was like, I'm not gonna eat this, and I started to eat
You
it.
ate the
Yeah, you ate the
whole,
whole
and
thing.
because it was,
It wasn't
we
against
cut
the
it
pie, I
into
just-
4s, and then you got like a 1/4 of a pie, so you were like, I'm not gonna eat all this. Then
And I
more
should.
than the middle of the video was gone.
Yeah, it was good pie. I mean,
I was on a crush.
You know, talking works up an appetite.
What?
Arguing.
This is hard.
what time is that?
If you guys
The,
choose all winners, I'm so done.
Oh, thanks, John.
I know, I'm very descriptive.
312.
Wait, what do I win for winning?
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm gonna win.
Are you staying after?
Yeah.
You get the gratification.
I just completely lost.
That's not enough for me.
Completely
Oh,
lost track of
Fonzie.
time.
I'm sorry about the LeBron thing.
They had
I
the
know I
best
told you.
creative
It's
line.
okay.
I know.
You definitely said you're gonna choose
I
LeBron.
told him last
And
week
they
I could argue
strong goat
LeBron.
argument.
But the more I thought about it, the more I thought about the iconography of Jordan. And I was
Amino
like,
acids
stats aren't
is good
everything.
science.
If you don't pure
They
stats,
works
it's
better
LeBron.
as a team.
But iconography, it's
I mean, you could
was
also say
close.
like sports are more analytically inclined now, and LeBron James is like still considered one of the better players in the game.
That's true.
Dang. Wish
Okay.
you would have told us that before.
Well,
I think
you would've won.
we have come to a conclusion.
All right. No, what? Everybody missed that little snide comment. But
Yep.
Wait, what did you say?
it don't matter. Keep going. Keep
Well,
going.
I'll see it in the video. I'll
The
see it.
TV caught
the
it.
TV.
We can watch it later.
You watch it later. Okay. So before I give my decision, I just want to talk to you guys about what kind of criteria we use to talk about this. We first picked which team had stronger, more logical arguments. And as far as that criteria, we thought that John's team had a little bit more of a logical consistently logical, not in some individual ones it was
just
not
a little
great,
more.
but just a little more often. As far as organization and team togetherness, I definitely felt like Paige and Fonzie were a way more cohesive unit. You can tell that they can get along with each other, and they had a way of someone going half the time, the other person going half the time, so it was kind of more of a unit instead of two people. You felt a little bit more disparate, but it felt like these were more of a unit, so I had to let that be known. However, our last piece of information was creativity, who we thought had the most creative arguments. And I'll let him say who it is because I don't feel good picking between my friends.
So, yeah, this was really hard, but I think what gave you guys the nod was the Waldo goes wherever the vibe is response that Max gave, and immediately, without hesitation, nor was there even, from what I saw, even discussion. So you guys got some points for decisiveness, and also it was just a great line. And it was so great that maybe you guys even agreed in some way because you guys thought they were having the same argument. I don't know about that. So in a competition that was very even, we had to find some kind of tiebreaker and a little bit more creativity, okay?
Dang.
However, as
Sorry.
far
That's
as
rough.
creativity, your milk argument,
Was
top tier.
way better. Thank you.
Top tier. That was whack.
I just like to.
That was whack, including sausages and cereal.
Pumpkin sausage. And
I just have to
not
be
me.
fair to
All right,
all
all right.
of you.
I have to say
It was great.
I'm gonna have to leave in like 2 minutes.
it's not that I missed it, Alfonso, because I always call you by the full formal name. The especially from the cow's udder, that milk is disgusting, especially from the cow's udder, was the funniest line of the day. And I like that you went on to elaborate with the Luke Skywalker Star Wars
That was
scene.
awesome.
So
You can't assume
thank
that's
you
milk, though.
so much.
You're welcome.
Maybe.
All right.
Alrighty, so thank you all. Thank you all for being on this show. I hope it has strengthened all of our bonds as friends. Hopefully you guys will want to come back. Anyway, so that is the end of our episode of Four Guys and Pie. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the very near future.